What's going on, Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, this is a video I've been meaning to make for the entire year. I know we're only a month in, but it's imperative that I need to make this video at the start of the year, because honestly, this is kind of like a video to myself at the end of 2021. So Blossom, if you're still making videos in December of 2021, this video is a shout out to you, my man, because I want to see how far my garage has progressed in 2021. Obviously now we're in February, and I think I've already gotten about 8 legendaries this year. That being said though, there's still like what, 10 and a half more months to go. So let's see what I can do in this time. So Blossom, when you come back and watch this video in December 2021, this is gonna be for you, man. This is gonna be for you. But right now, as of February, what day is it today? I don't even know, actually. 9th. February 9th of 2021, this is where my garage is standing. 1,269, very nice, cars, 148 commons, 128 uncommons, 190 rare, 259 super rare, 327 ultras, 140 epics, and 77 legendaries. Honestly, the main number here is 77 legendaries and 327 ultra rares. Also, I felt like there's no better time to record this video now because your boy has hit 69k trophies. Let's go. It's time to actually go for a garage tour. I'm gonna be quick because this is a massive garage. It took me about, I think, 90 seconds to scroll from legendary all the way to common, and I do not want to do that again. I don't want to make a mistake where I click filter and it resets to legendary. I have to spend another 90 seconds just scrolling. It's gonna be bad. But okay, obviously with these kind of garage reviews, I've done a couple already. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I'm just gonna talk about the new stuff or the stuff that I love the most. So we got the alphas, we got the type 2s, the simple stuff. A lot of Blossom choices. One of the funny things, one of the most bizarre things, obviously being a YouTuber, I read a lot of BS. But one of the most bizarre things I've ever read, I think someone was like, yo, what if these cars that Blossom are recommending for us are actually really bad, and he wants all his viewers to get them so he can have an edge on all of them. That is the most bullcrap thing I've ever heard, okay? If you think that is true, just have a look at my garage. Have a look at the garage tour. Like, every Blossom choice car that I have in multiple amounts. They're good for a reason, okay? And we'll see that in a bit. But obviously we have the whole Imperial phase. I have 2 of the Frank Sinatra editions max just because I'm guessing that this is going to be the next key, because there are only 3 Imperials in the game. It might be, it might not be. They might be shipping them in 2s now, and it might be the next like Pacer and Gremlin. That might be the next 2 keys. I don't know. I just feel like the key is somewhere among us, and I just have to find out what the right one is. A lot of people are thinking the Imperials, and that makes sense because the past couple ones were Imperials, but you never know. I have an idea that it might be another one, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, we got the Jags from the past. We all talk about that. This car is absolutely cursed, by the way, and I hate how it's from my birth year. The Chrysler Java, it's so ugly. But like I said, I have to collect every single American Frontier common, so I had to add it to my collection. I mean, it's actually not that bad. 80 handling standard tires, and it's pretty light, but it's just really, really ugly. Moving on, I got 2 maxed out Lancia 2000s. This one is really new. I think it's only 2 days old. 250 days, sorry, this is the new one. There you go, 1 day old, 0 races. It's a Blossom choice, it's super niche, great for front wheel drive, super low RQ, common, club events, that kind of stuff. More Jags to commemorate the past. 2 beats. The second beat took me forever to get, by the way. I had 1 beat for like over 1,000 days, and the second beat took forever. Here's the other thing. So if they're not doing the Imperials anymore, there are 2 Chrysler New Yorkers in the game. So if they're going to ship tags out in 2, maybe they might just use this key cars in 2. So maybe they might not even use the Frank Sinatra Imperial, and they might be working on the New Yorkers. So I have 2 of these New Yorkers from 1969 and 1 from 1987. I feel like if the New Yorkers are the next key cars, this one will come out first just because it's older. And then this one will come out later because it's just a newer model. I might be wrong though. If I get a second Chrysler New Yorker from 1987, I might keep it. But like I said, this is just guessing. I don't want to end up having 5 of these commons and then finding out that they're not actually key cars and I did it for no reason. 2 AMC Spare GTs. Now that was what's the word I'm looking for? I did that on purpose because this car actually looks pretty good. Opel GT and 2 Aspen RT, same thing. They look pretty good. They look like decent commons. That's all. They're not really key cars or Blossom cars, but they look like they'll just lose by 50 and not by like 100,000 with like most commons do. Citroen ZX, this one's pretty new. I had to get it because I was getting shafted by this in clubs. Basically any front wheel drive dry, right? So like, you know, you have to use performance tire cars. It was this for the twisty stuff and the Lancia 2000 for the fast stuff. That was it. And I didn't have this, so I was getting shafted, so I needed to get one. I hate collecting French cars, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. 2 Max Lagunas. Now this one was one of my investments that kind of backfired. I thought this was going to be a great car for clubs. It has good MRA, decent handling all around, but I just never seemed to use it because the 200 is just better in every way, and that's why I got 2 maxed. But most of this you've seen already, a lot of new AF stuff, but I'm not going to talk about the AF stuff too much because I've actually done dedicated garage tours to my AF collection, which is insane. I think I have almost every AF car at this point from Ultra and below. Definitely all the Supers maxed. Moving on to uncommons now, we've seen all the AF, like I said, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. I got a lot of duplicates of a lot of them, like the Colt Vista and the Daytona. They're just great cars. Actually, the Colt Vista's not that good, but the Daytona's a great car. Cosmo, I keep talking about this, but I feel like I don't talk about it enough because most people don't even... People sleep on this car. This car is good, okay? Standard tires, it handles well, and it's medium ground clearance. It's good. It's a good car. I like it. It looks very nice as well. We got the Bandit. We talked Bandit. Double slingshot. I need to get like 5 slingshots. I mean, if I can bring myself to maxing 5 DB5s, which I never ever use, I should be able to bring myself to maxing 5 slingshots that I always use, right? That makes sense. D100s, those cars are amazing. I haven't need to use it recently, but like when it comes to uncommon events and clubs, absolutely amazing. You know, I always talk about clubs, but like what if I talked about cars that kind of won me prelims and qualifiers and tri-series qualifiers and prelims, because usually you won't get an uncommon that wins you stuff in the finals, but qualifiers and prelims sometimes just because RQs can be very low. On the top of my head now I can't really remember any, but if any comes to my head I'll let you guys know. I think there's one over here that I might have used. I'm not too... Oh, yeah. What was it? It was this. The 407 Coupe. I used it for something. I think it was like 2,000 Rex for the qualifiers for something. Maybe the TVR qualifiers. I can't remember. But this car actually did win me a carbon fiber in a prelim. So I ended up using that. And that's the other reason why I have a 407 Coupe. That thing is one of the most hideous cars I have ever seen. But I have a new policy now. Once I max a car out, it just stays in my garage. I'm not even going to sell it, even if it's French. Because if I max it out, it means that it was probably useful for something. And if it's useful for something, it just means that, you know, borderline it is useful. So I'll keep it around. You know, I'll just try not to look at it. Twin cam, this thing didn't win me much. Just in the shadows, really. Chrysler Conquest, 100% overrated, 6185, still just not as good as the twin cam, which is 5884. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. The stats look not bad, but then when you compare it to its competitors, it's just not good enough. It isn't, it's just, yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment, really. I know a lot of people were super hyped about that. Renault 5 GT Turbo, this thing's actually... good. I was gonna say not bad, but that would be doing it disjustice. This car is actually good, so if you do pick this up from a prize board, I would recommend getting it. 5883. It's also incredibly light. It's medium. Yeah, I feel like you guys are probably thinking that Blossom's just losing it now because he's actually giving praise to French cars. Listen, they're good for the game. They have decent stats. They win you races or they lose by 50. In terms of the real world, I will never change. I will always hate French cars. But you guys probably know that and you're probably annoyed that I always say it. But I feel like I have to say it because I've been praising them as well, you know? It's a bit of like, everything has to be balanced. I got 2 Cornet Super Bs. I was thinking about selling these, but like I said, I have a new policy. I don't sell things anymore. But yeah, I'm thinking about selling them because they're just not as good as they used to be, right? They were my rare version of the GTX. But now the GTX is actually rare itself. I don't need to use it anymore. And when I mean rare version of the GTX is because usually if there's a rare event in clubs, I can't use the GTX. So I have to use the next best thing, which is the Cornet Super B. However, that isn't the next best thing anymore because the best thing is now the best thing. It's the GTX, if that makes sense, because it's rare. Double Opel Manta. Still waiting for this to get off-road tires, by the way. And then, of course, the Opel Manta 400. These cars are just... amazing. Honestly, I was a bigger fan of the 400 before the 400 Rally because the Rally had a higher RQ, but now that they're the same RQ, I find myself using the Rally a little more. It just seems to be the slightly better car, even though it handles a little less. All of these you've seen before, so nothing too new about it. This thing actually helped me in an Alfa Romeo event. I got a tier 2 in it. I think, yeah, there was a video about it where I was actually surprised I got tier 2 because it was off-road and this is standard tires. But I just feel like most people don't have low-end Alphas unless you're Mbong. So for me, having that random piece of crap actually pushed me through. So, hey, go figure. I maxed it out for no reason as well, so that was even funnier. The Alpha suit I maxed out for a reason. I maxed it out for Yellow Brick Championships. But yeah, moving on, a lot of AF stuff, a lot of American cars. We've seen a lot of these before. A lot of Blossom choices. We got double Integra GSRs. Huge fan of that car. Double Ram first gens is not the best, the Ram. but the main reason why I had 2 was for In the Shadows. I needed 2 to get past a level. 2 Hornets, 2 Stelvs, and 4 Louis. Yes, I call them Louis because I'm naming my favorite car after myself, because my favorite person in the whole world is Thomas Muller. But then myself, I would take a bullet for Thomas Muller. I would. I'm a stan. But yeah, double i3S. This is my most recent rare max out. And maybe it's this one. No, it was this one. As you can see, I've had it for 0 days. Had it maxed out. I think I got it from my... I can't remember. No, not from my 1 mil pack opening, because that would have been 1 day old already, I think. But moving on, we got Mustang GT, decent one. Kanzin. We got 4 Demon Roadsters. I should get 5 just to finish the entire hand, but like 4 is enough. And also OCD sake, I like it. It's orderly, because if it was 5, that means there'll be like another Demon Roadster over here, but then the car above it won't be a Demon Roadster, and I'll be really annoyed, and I'll have to get 6, and that's 2 new max cars, and that's money I don't need to spend. So for now, I'm just keeping it at 4, and then double Malibu, because why not? And then yeah, let's just move on, because honestly, you've seen all this already. So let's just skip the super rares. We've talked about the super rares. I've even made a video on how I just maxed every single super rare AF. So I don't need to talk about it anymore. But then people were actually really interested about that, because they liked how I compared the stats. That's cool. If you like to see me, I'll do more of that. But obviously, there are pages like Top Drives World on Instagram that kind of just do it like on crackhead energy, like they're crazy. Like go support that page. But yeah, I got 3 flexes for the flex. I love the flex. A lot of people were telling me that the flex isn't as good as it is. It is. It's so good. The flex is amazing, but I know maybe it's just not as good as I might hype it up to be. It's the second best. It's like Embo from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, right? Everybody loves Embo, but Cad Bane is still better. Or it is like Cad Bane, because everybody loves Cad Bane, but then everybody knows that Boba Fett is better. You know what I mean? Like, it's still really good. The main reason why, and honestly, when I said that this thing was the best, I genuinely meant it. And then someone sent me a post showing me that Volvo 4-wheel drive standard was actually just better. But then, that's the only one. That's the only one. This thing's still better than the RQ49 Legacy. It's better than the Phaeton. It's better than the Lavorg. It's better than all the other standard stuff. I know the Lavorg's all surface, but I just can't think of the Subaru names, Legacy or whatever. But yeah, it's still amazingly good. It still beats Ultra Rares, and I am still a massive fan of the Ford Flex, and I have 3 of the Max, and I have 0 of the Volvos. The Volvo can suck it. I don't care about that car, even though it is... Yes, it is technically, not technically, it's literally statistically the best, but I love the Flex. And the Flex is actually the best on like 2 of the track sets. It does beat the Volvo in 2 of the track sets, but then again, Volvo's the better one on majority of the track sets, which makes it the best. I get it, but still, I'm gonna hype it up. The Flex is still really good. It's still genuinely amazing, and it's the best American standard. Yeah, that is true. That is a fact. But yeah, we got a bunch of Chargers, double Suburbans. This second Suburban I've been keeping around forever just because I've wanted to 996 it for like years. How long? How old is this? A year? Or, oh, it's not as old as I thought it was, actually. Not as old as I thought it was, but I've been wanting to max the second one, just haven't really gotten around to doing it because it's not really essential. A bunch of R20s, a bunch of Opel GTs, a bunch of Sprints, 111Ss. The D-Type army is actually a lot smaller than it used to be. I think it went from like 30 to like 15. I got rid of a lot of D-Types, guys. The D-Type army is dead. The main reason is because I'm running out of slots, but also I'm making a new army, and that is the Charger army, the Louis army, the rare Chargers. I'm gonna get like 100 of them, so eventually I'm gonna need space. So the D-Type army is coming to an end. I'm probably just gonna keep 5 or 6 for OCD sake, but we'll see how it goes. I got a bunch of these Mustangs just because I'm still convinced that they'll go Ultra eventually. And then I got a bunch of the 131s because they're good for clubs. It's the only saloon off-roader in the entire like game. But yeah, move on to Ultras now. Got a lot of Ultras, 281 Ultras max. I'll make a video on specifically Ultras once I have 300 Ultra Rares max. So we'll go through this really quickly because there'll be another separate video for them entirely. But let's see, what new things. Charger 3, huge fan, amazing car. I got 3 max EVs, 2 Daytonas maxed, and I'm kind of just keeping up the trend. This is the newest Max Ultra. I got this from my 1 mil pack opening 2 days ago. 0 races, 6179, amazing MRA on this, but the stats itself, see the Flex is better stats. The Flex is 5 more handling, bro. Like, the Flex. The Flex is dope, okay? But yeah, this thing is amazing MRA, so I maxed it out, and also because I'm slowly trying to get every Mercedes maxed. One really painful one that I have to do is probably max out the RQ51 E500. I'll get to that eventually, but it will be a pain. But then it will be a relief once it's over. Also, I'm trying to max out all the Chryslers, just because AF's sake, so I got a couple that I need to work on. I got a second Aspen hybrid done this week as well, which honestly, people in my Instagram, oh yeah, I gotta address this by the way. People in my Instagram, oh, and I got tier 2 in the current qualifiers for the SLS, and I got a second ZDX, and I think the RQ55 NSX. Nothing too special. I didn't record it once again, 2 ultras once again, bunch of crap once again. But yeah, one thing I need to talk about are my Instagram posts. Now, do follow my Instagram if you haven't already. It's really awesome. I post a bunch of like quizzes and fun stuff for you guys to just play around with, a bunch of max outs and everything. But the thing about the max outs, right? The thing about the max outs, I post all my max outs, and one of the most common questions is, are those cars actually any good? I'm going to be honest with you, for my most recent max out post, if it's ultra or below, it's probably no, unless it's a duplicate. If it's a duplicate, it means it's obviously great. But yeah, if I max anything new that I don't have, it's probably really bad, and you shouldn't follow me. The main reason why I max those cars out is because I've already completed the meat and potatoes, I'm happy to say. I've already maxed out all the key cars, you know? Like, I already have a CTS Coupe max, I already have a GMC All-Terrain X maxed, I have the BTRs max, 030 max. So like, you know, I have all those key Blossom Choice cars or those key Ultra Rares maxed already. So now I'm kind of just working on the second phase. Second phase being just maxing out whatever I want. A bunch of crap, doesn't really matter. Obviously, I would love to max another key car, like another 037 or another RS200. The problem is I need to get it first. I haven't gotten a second 037. I've never gotten a second RS200, and I've never gotten a third Colorado. So in the meantime, while I wait for getting more of these key cars, I kind of just max out the crap in my garage, which is usually the Ultra Rare fuse that I have. So yeah, for the Ultra Rare max outs, really, like, if you're asking, are they actually any good? The answer is 90% no, unless it's a duplicate. If it's a duplicate, it means it's probably pretty good. But like I said, probably, because I maxed out a duplicate Chrysler Aspen hybrid, and that isn't even good. I maxed out for clubs, because it's the only Chrysler off-roader, and when it's roadless taking, Chrysler ×5, I'm going to smack ass. But anyway, epics now. A bunch of new maxed epics since my last garage tour, I gotta say, because I maxed out a bunch of AF cars. Also this, I need to finish this. It's going to be painful, but I need to finish this. 3391. We'll get it done eventually. Yeah, well, for now, I'm just saving my fuse. Right now, I'm saving my fuse. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna hit 50 ultras. 50 ultras is the bank, you know? It's the insurance bank. And then any ultras I collect after 50, I'll go into just maxing out stuff. Because obviously, I unpacked the Superlight recently, and I have to max the Superlight. So technically, I need to get 65 ultras, and then I'll max the Superlight. Right now I'm standing about 46 ultras, so the insurance part is almost done. And the main reason why I do this insurance things is when there's a prize car out that I really want, and you know, there are no cars that I have required for the requirements, I'll just need to go unpack a bunch of packs, and if I get lucky, I would have the fused material standing by to max the epics out. That's basically what happened for me to win the Viper GTSR. That's basically what happened when I won the TVR. It's still annoying that I spent 45 ultras to win the TVR. I didn't even want the TVR. I don't even care much about that TVR prize car. The main reason why I wanted the tier 1 that is because of my own Dodge reputation. I have to do well in Dodge events. That's a burden that I've put on myself. I cannot lose Dodge events. I cannot live with that. Everything else is fair game. But obviously, Juice, we love the Juice, is my wide body at AF, but obviously it doesn't have the same hype or stigma as the wide body because I never talked about it, and I didn't want to, because if I did, Hutch would never give it to me. So I played them, kinda. Probably not, but like, yeah, Charger Juice in my garage, huge fan. I got the Stingray collection, you know, we got the aquarium, we got double RSR. This is a Yoto car. It might be a Yoto car. It's definitely in Year of the Ox, but I don't know if we'll get the tag. But definitely keeping 2 around for that case alone. 3399, I mean, that's amazing. I think the Tuscan is Yoto as well. I might be wrong though. We got the green Challenger Army. We got 2 C12s, which is pretty nice. I would love to get 2 GT4s, bro. I would love to get 2 GT4s. Lotus Evora 400. I'm a huge fan of the car. It's actually not that good. I know what you're thinking. It handles well as a great MRA, but the 0 to 60 is pretty weak, and the top speed isn't as high as the Hellcats, and it has a Camry engine, and it probably will get nerfed. That's the one thing of the Evoras, you know. I feel like all the Evoras are gonna get nerfed eventually. It's like the next Roof. You know, once Roof is done, you know, Hutch has finished playing with Roof ripping out the MRAs left, right, and center. They're gonna play with Lotus next and just rip out the MRAs from all the overalls, which makes sense. They have Toyota Camry engines. They shouldn't be accelerating that quickly. They should accelerate to 60 really fast, but then, you know, that's about it. They shouldn't be accelerating to 100 that quickly. But yeah, they handle super well though. That's one thing about Lotus that will never change. 2 wide bodies, obviously. Love my babies. This one's max 233, and then this one will probably max 322, but there's no rush about that. I also have to max a CT6. I actually have so many epic projects to work on. It's actually painful. I know, suffering from success, I'm sorry, I don't mean to boast, but I remember there was a time where I was only getting like RQ70 epics and they weren't key, and I was really sad, and I couldn't max anything out. Like, all I had was like the M3 CS, and now I have all these key epics and I'm not maxing them out because I have this whole insurance policy where I want to keep 50 ultras at all time, so when there's a prize card that comes out that I really want, I can go, you know, all in. But I have so many projects, man. I gotta max out the Metro 6R4, I gotta max out the Lamborghini Gallardo, the CT6, the Super Light, another wide body because it's a wide body, a second M3 CS, an RSR. Like, the list is pretty long, to be fair, and I kind of got to work on it. And I have to work on the Continental GT. In fact, this is a must. GT staying no matter what, because shout out Luke. We had a deal where the next 79 I get, I would have to max it. So I've already been dragging it out because it's not maxed yet. But you know, it's never gonna get fused. I will max it out for you, and I'm probably gonna 323 it because this one is 223, so one's gonna be rain spec. We'll see how it goes. But moving on to legendaries now, 77 legendaries. So what's new? First of all, double AMG GTS, which is kind of sad. The car is just really bad. This would have been a really good epic. Really, it would be an amazing epic, but such a bad legendary. But speaking about bad legendaries, this isn't one. This one's amazing. Great MRA, great handling, great picture. I still think this has the nicest picture in the entire game. The main problem is just, once again, Camry engine is probably gonna get nerfed. You know, I want to finish it. It's 21 and 24. I want me the Chiron, but it's probably gonna get nerfed, man, and it's gonna suck. I got a max super light. This thing's a beast. Once again, really happy with the Evora pool. Got the same day of the Evora super light, but once again, Camry engine, so you never know. SRT Viper, love that. Bollywood. Here's the TVR that I was talking about. I give it a lot of slack, you know, because it's not the same level as a 164 Pro car or a Revolution or a Chiron or a 918. But prize card is a prize card. Legendary prize card is a legendary prize card. So I'm keeping it. Of course, I'm keeping it. I'm obviously happy to have it. Just, you know, I would have been happy if I didn't win it, technically. But yeah, moving on. We got TA, Syracuse. Love Syracuse. I lost my train of thought for like 3 seconds there. And of course, Hollywood. Can't hate Hollywood, dude. Like 5,487 races, 500 plus days, 98% win ratio. I love Hollywood so much. And like, honestly, these are actual races as well. It's not like I'm playing the single player campaign and I'm just racing Hollywood 10 times over. No, I mean, they're mostly clubs, but still I'm racing them against other legendaries, and Hollywood's just, woo! Gotta love Hollywood. And then I've got my Demon as well, Blossom Jr. 749 days, 5,569 races, and 95% win ratio. That's really high. The win ratio in this is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be, because I put this thing up against Bugattis to lose by 50. But then it also beats a lot of other cars, so it's amazing. And once again, we'll never forget how this car beat a banana on a twisty circuit. A maxed banana on a twisty circuit, okay? The banana has, what, 99 handling? Like, yeah, Demon's great. I got the T16, the car that I did not believe I was going to win, but I won. We got this. You won me a prize car now, so congratulations. You won me the Pro car. We have Blitzig, shout out Blitz. And then of course we have the 164, but that's not the newest edition. The newest edition was the Evora, but I already showed you that. And my next legendary project, you know, in quotes, is the GTSR. I need to max the GTSR. This is the next legendary I'm gonna max, but don't expect it to be soon, because once again, I'm all about that insurance. I gotta have those epics lying around for a prize car. You never know when I'm gonna need it, so that's just chilling right now, but I'll max it out eventually. We got Bluseg, which is maxed. Max it out of hype, but you know, I use it so many times. 1,426 races in about 149 days, 97% win ratio. Yep. Blusig, everyone. We got Valky. I love Valky, but I don't think the win ratio is as high. Yeah, 89, 619 races. I don't use Valky as much as I thought I would. Probably when I max it out, then I would use it a lot. But then again, I only have one fuse into it, so it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. Bunch of Lamborghinis. We have Blosseg. We have Blosseg on steroids. We have the Revolution. Now this car is another legendary I want to max out. I want to max out this. I want to max out the Senna. I want to max out the GTSR. I want to max out the Pro Car. I want to max out. What else did I want to max out? The other thing. And I want to max out the GT2 RS. Everyone forget. Oh, the Vulcan. Yeah. The GT2 RS. It's an OG. If you are an OG to my channel, if your name is Pola or something like that, or someone like that, I mean, you would know that this is an OG. Where is it? I can't find it. Is it 88? Is it 88? 86? 87? Yeah, here it is. 911 GT2 RS. This is an OG, man. This thing has won me like what? Won me the 918. It won me the Urus. Probably some other car that I've forgotten. I think it won me the GT1 road car. This thing's amazing. 15 out of 24. I gotta max this out eventually, honestly. Yeah, the list is long. The list is so long. We got the Pikes Peak, which I was really close to putting one upgrade into for the qualifiers, but I didn't need to do it in the end. Bugatti Army, and the 918. So, that is my garage at 69k trophies on February 9th. Blossom, it's over to you. So if you're watching in December, let me know how far you've progressed. Let me know if you've hit, how many legendaries do you think I have by the end of the year? I'm on 77 now. If I get 3 a month, which is my average, that would be 3 times 12 is... 36, right? 12, 1, 12, 12, 2, 24, 12, 3, 36. Yeah, 36. So if I get 3 a month, it'll be 36 a year. And I know that I came into 2020 with 69 legendaries. Very nice. 69 legendaries. So 69 plus 36. Alright, so Blossom, by the end of 2021, I expect you to have 105 legendaries. Let me know how that turns out. But yeah, with that said, guys, that is the garage tour. Let me just show you the final stats now, because we're at the end of the tour. So 1,269 cars. Here are all the numbers again. If we go into fully upgraded, I'm 7 cars away from 1,000 maxed out cars. 6 max legends, 59 max epics, 281 max ultras, 186 max supers, 190 max rares, 128 max uncommons, and 143 max commons. So looking really nice, and I think we're just gonna end with this. Still annoying. Actually, no, it doesn't annoy me anymore. It's actually it's still, you know, my OCD is annoyed because it's still, you know, orderly. You know, we have 2 rows of legends, and 2 rows of legends, and then 2 rows of epics, and then 2 rows of legends. So still, it's fine. If the SRT Viper and the Lancer Evo switch positions, that's when I would have gotten annoyed. But this is still okay. But yeah, I wonder what the next maxed out legend is going to be. I mean, it is going to be the GTSR, but it's when. The question honestly is when. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my garage review. This is indeed Blossom's garage, and hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.